State Board of Elections officials report very low turnout for today's election, but the results are in, and we now know Lieutenant Governor Anthony Brown has received the Democratic nomination to succeed Governor Martin O'Malley.
Well, we have live Commitment 2014 team coverage tonight of the race for governor. That race was called early tonight, so we're going to begin with the numbers on the Democratic side. With Anthony Brown coming in with 141,000 votes, 52% of the vote. Doug Gansler at 25% of the vote. Heather Mazier at 23% with 54% of the precincts reporting in. And of course, so we're going to check in with the Republican frontrunner in just a moment.
But 11 News reporter David Collins is live at the Brown-Ullman headquarters with more on their big win tonight. David?
Big win. Lieutenant Governor declared tonight we're going to celebrate. And as I heard you mention, the victory party here actually started as early voting results started trickling in. The early voting results revealed a trend that turned out to be true. And just moments ago, Lieutenant Governor Brown took the stage. The Brown-Ullman ticket turned out to be an unstoppable train rolling over opponents to a decisive victory. Brown, a colonel in the reserve, shared his experiences in the military and how a diverse group of members came together to be part of something bigger.
We campaigned with that same spirit, knowing that each of us was part of something bigger, that each of us was part of that mission, each of us part of that purpose, each of us part of that goal to build a better Maryland for more Marylanders, and that's what we're going to do.
Lieutenant Governor thanked Governor O'Malley for all his support and his 8 years of service as our governor. He said thank you to Delegate Heather Mazier for bringing so many good ideas to the table. And he also thanked Doug Gansler for a hard-fought campaign. He congratulated Republican Larry Hogan and says he looks forward to the next 133 days of discussion and debate. And finally, Brown told supporters, we will not be reading about the next chapter in Maryland, we will be writing it. Reporting live from College Park, David Collins, WBAL TV 11 News.
All right, David, thank you very much. And it was a hard-fought battle for Attorney General Doug Gansler in his quest to become Maryland's next governor. 11 News reporter George Lettis is live at Gansler headquarters in Bethesda, where he gave his concession speech, and he also thanked his supporters. George?
Well, Stan, as you can imagine, there was never much excitement in this room all night. The only cheers happened when Doug Gansler took the stage to give his concession speech. In it, he congratulated and thanked both of his opponents. He said he and Anthony Brown had a spirited debate throughout the campaign and actually said that he thinks that they agreed more than disagreed on the issues. He thanked Heather Mazier for injecting progressive ideas into the campaign. He then said this race showed how he has always been, quote, a fighter.
We fell short today, not from a lack of hard work or conviction or dedication. We worked hard. You all worked hard. But tomorrow we wake up, we shake off the dust, and we each do what we can to help others build a better life here in Maryland. That's our mission, that's our cause, and that's our fight. Thank you.
Now, shortly after the race was called, a state delegate from Montgomery County and a Gansler supporter told me, quote, Doug was beaten by the Brown political machine. Meanwhile, Gansler gave no hints as to what is next for him professionally. We're live in Montgomery County. George Lettis, WBAL TV 11 News.
All right, thank you, George. Well, she would have made history on two fronts, becoming Maryland's first female governor and the first openly gay governor in the country, but it just wasn't in the cards for Delegate Heather Mazier. The Mazier Coates campaign conceded the Democratic gubernatorial race earlier this evening. Just moments ago, she thanked her dedicated supporters.
There were a lot of skeptics that said that this campaign would never, ever make it this far. People who lead from fear told me to just get back in line. But together we showed them the power a movement can have when we work together for positive change.
It was a bold campaign. Messier fully supported the legalization of marijuana for adult recreational use, saying that taxing pot would create a dedicated revenue stream to help fund early childhood education here in Maryland. And now to the Republican race for governor. Maryland businessman Larry Hogan will be the Republican nominee.
Yeah, there were 4 candidates vying for that Republican nomination. You see the numbers there on your screen. Larry Hogan commanding 42% of the vote. David Craig came in second here with 31%, followed by Charles Lawler with 16% and Ron George with 11% of the vote. 11 News reporter Deborah Weiner is live at the Hogan headquarters in Annapolis with the victor. Deb.
Between Democrats and Republicans. It's more important than that.
Well, media-savvy Larry Hogan is delivering his victory speech as we speak. We want to take a listen to it right now. He started just a few minutes ago. Larry Hogan, 58-year-old from Edgewater, real estate businessman, accepting the nomination.
Lieutenant Governor Brown and Governor O'Malley have a failed record of lost businesses, lost jobs, wasteful spending, record tax increases, and broken promises. 40 consecutive tax hikes that have taken an additional $10 billion out of the pockets of struggling Maryland families and small businesses. We're the only state in the nation that taxes the rain. We've lost 6,500 businesses. Unemployment is up 76%. We're number 2 in the nation in foreclosures and dead last in manufacturing. We've had the largest mass exodus of taxpayers voting with their feet and heading for the exits, fleeing our state, of any state in the Mid-Atlantic region, and one of the worst in the nation. According to a recent Gallup poll, 47% of all Marylanders would leave the state if they could. The federal government now ranks our state's economy 49th out of 50 states. That's simply unacceptable. The people of Maryland deserve better.
Hogan tonight, let the games begin. He's hoping for 5 debates between now and November. Of course, to win, they acknowledge they need the following: a high turnout among the GOP, a significant number of Democrats who are tired of the status quo, and a whole lot of independents. Live in Annapolis, Deborah Weiner, WBAL TV 11 News.